the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan A. Moody, and I'm here with...
Paul Presents, known as the Moo Cow. Moo.
All right, so we've got a small haul today, nothing huge, as opposed to you look at the Indie Film Cafe haul that we had, it was a lot. So we have a lot more DVDs than we have Blu-rays, but that's probably usually the case anyway.
Right. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I try to get more Blu-rays these days, but I went on a splurge for DVDs. That's probably not going to happen again for a long time.
You
so
splurged all over the place.
I did.
Amazing.
I did. But first of all, I want to showcase a couple things I got from the what is it? The Rite Aid. Rite Aid had a going out of business sale. Everything was 75% off, and that included Blu-rays. So I took advantage of it as I could.
So it's 75% off the listed price? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. So things, you know, like I got stuff like, I got the whole haul that I got. One of them was like $7 and the other one was like $9.
Oh, great.
So it's a pretty good deal. And that included the DVDs that we had. Well, today's the last day.
Oh.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, so first of all, I got Risky Business, which I actually really like this movie. I haven't seen it in forever, but I do remember it is one of the few Tom Cruise movies where I actually really enjoyed him. This was before he became like Ethan Hunt or all the, you know, stuff where he's just continuing to do the Tom Cruise stuff.
Right.
I liked it. It's fun. You know, I could do without him dancing in his underwear, but you know, whatever. And then also I got 2 cop movies, one starring Michael Keaton and one starring Melanie Griffith. The Michael Keaton movie is called One Good Cop, and Melanie Griffith's Stranger Among Us. So both of them look kind of silly, kind of fun, you know.
I think
movies.
I saw One Good Cop. I think that came on HBO at one point.
Yeah, was it good?
It was all right.
I mean, it's Michael Keaton. Come on, he at least he makes things good and fun. You know, even if the movie is not the greatest movie of all time, he'll make it fun. So, then we went to what is that? The Book Exchange, and I only got one Blu-ray there and everything, and that was Heist, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan from. Everybody knows him as Negan from Walking Dead, but I know him as Sam and Dean's father in Supernatural. Robert De Niro's in it, Kate Bosworth, Gina Carano, and Dave Bautista. And it's got commentary with the director, Scott Mann, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and writer Max Adams, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd never actually heard of that one.
I never heard of it either, but like, wasn't there a movie called Heist that Robert De Niro was in?
I thought so.
That starred like Al Pacino or something? Or is that Heat? That's Heat. It's Heat. I was thinking of Heat. So he's been in Heat and Heist, you know.
Okay.
So maybe that sounds like it might be a good double feature, because this sounds like it's very much a ripoff of Heat in a way. You know, even the cover looks kind of like a ripoff of it. And then last but not least on this pile, and then he's gonna do 2 more, and then I'm gonna do 4 more, and then we're done. I had to get this, the Muppet movie, the original Muppet movie. I have I do the movie rewards program for Disney, and what Disney will do is Disney will if you get like you'll get a get one of these things. I gotta cover the thing, but you get one of these things, and you type in the reward code, and you can use that as a to basically to get more points and stuff. And so I got over like 1,200 points or something like that, and so I decided I wanted to go and buy something there, and I wanted the Muppet movie, and I couldn't find it at one point, so I didn't go and do things. Then I found it for Blu-ray for like 1,000 points, and it was well worth it.
Well, the good thing about that is very soon you'll be able to buy your share of Marvel stuff, because it's all going to be under the Disney flag pretty soon. So.
Actually, they already are.
They already are?
But sadly, right now, the Marvel Studios don't have the code and stuff yet. But you're right. I think that's gonna change at some point when Marvel and Disney are just completely, you know, or whatever, you know.
Dissolve.
Yeah, together, dissolved into each other. But I love it. I'm actually really looking forward to the Disney whatever Plus or whatever it's called, the streaming service, because as long as it's not like $20, a month or something, if it's like $10, I'm definitely getting it, or less. Less would be even better, but I think what I have a feeling they're gonna have like things where they might have like commercials for ones that aren't for ones that you pay less for or something, but maybe they won't. Maybe they will. I don't know what they're gonna do yet. So I'm excited, just the same as I'm excited for Criterion. Criterion Channel is coming out
That's right.
April 8th, so
Yay.
look for that. All right, your two.
Okay, so I only got a couple, and as I've mentioned before, I try not to get anything that's really kind of crappy. I usually only go for something that's really good in Blu-ray, and even then, I try to stick with things that are only kind of visually interesting, where the Blu-ray process is really added something to the experience. But every now and again, you come across some stuff that you just figure, hey, I'm just going to grab it. First one is Donnie Darko.
Ooh,
And this is the director's cut, which I have not seen.
Oh,
So that
well,
should be interesting. I've heard many tales about it, so I'm curious to see for myself how it's going to be. I think you told me you didn't care for it.
It includes both the theatrical and the director's cut. So, and it's also got commentary with on the director's cut with Kevin Smith.
Oh, okay, that's
And
interesting.
stuff like that. So he basically interviewed Richard Linklater about the movie while they were doing the commentary. It's pretty neat. But yeah, no, this is I have this already in my collection.
And I have to say, this is also has the distinction of being the only movie that I actually don't mind Patrick Swayze being in, because usually I can't stand him.
He's kind of a dick in that movie. That's why.
There you go.
Like,
Perfect.
He's like
Typecasting.
your perfect idea of him, and the idea of him being like a child molester or something, or
goodness
whatever,
sakes.
child pornography guy
Right.
and stuff
Seemed
like
to fit.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Patrick Swayze though. I'm sorry, I'm a Roadhouse man.
Oh my
that's
God.
that's my shit, dude.
Ultimate cheese.
I know. That's why I
So
love it.
cheesy.
It's so bad. It's so great. I love it. All right. Anyway.
Okay, so we got that. And then my friend Gary, who some of you may remember back when Indie Film Cafe came and did our live event at the Fort Monroe Firehouse Coffee Shop, and we did Robot Monster. He was around for that. He clued me into this film that we have a friend in common in Belgium called Kel. I forget his last name, but he was in this film. And it's actually a Troma release, and it is Spiderlings. And it's kind of like if you could picture Love in a 45 mixed with Sid and Nancy. That's kind of what you would get. It's kind of this real punk film, but it's also a musical, and that's kind of like the sort of the strength and the weakness of the film, because some of the songs are long, and you're sitting through the whole thing, and there's a lot of singing going on.
There's it says it's got Rusty Goff, who was in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do you know who he was?
I don't recall.
Okay.
And it's also got I forget his name, but the animator is actually very famous too. I think he's the guy who did all the tentacle stuff over in Japan. But there's this big, huge spider animated middle section that's really well done and freaking creepy as hell.
So you've seen it already?
Oh yeah, I've already seen it, so I'm pretty well versed with this. It's very interesting, it's very offbeat, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's LGBTQ friendly, and it's got a singing landlord. What else could you want? So there you go, Spiderlings.
Well, my last four are kind of two groups of things. I've been trying to get as many Alfred Hitchcock movies as I can possibly get on Blu-ray, and so I got Shadow of a Doubt, which is Alfred Hitchcock's, basically Alfred Hitchcock's, what is it, like personal favorite,
I've actually never seen that, and is it colorized?
No, I mean it wasn't. No, it's black and white.
Okay, I was just wondering because the front.
Front's color, but no, it is basically.
I only wondered because I know for a while Ted Turner's people were putting out colorized versions of movies.
Maybe, I don't know, but it was one of his personal favorites. I love it. It is such a kind of a creepy movie. Basically, Joseph Cotton plays a guy who may or may not be a killer. The cops are after him, so he decides to go stay with his sister, and his niece is like his favorite niece. She's like thinks that him coming back is basically a good sign that great things are gonna come. But then when she starts like talking to one of the detectives, she starts to kind of feel like there's something might be off with her uncle because she hasn't seen him in forever. Maybe there's something wrong with him. And I mean, it's just, oh my goodness, the ending of that movie is just, it's just, everything is just great of that movie. It's classic. It's probably one of my favorites of Alfred Hitchcock too. So I just remember watching that going, oh, it's really good. Hume Crone is in it and a few other people, and you know, wonderful. And it's got a wonderful making of documentary.
Nice.
And stuff, and that really goes into detail of what it took to make that movie. So pretty neat. Speaking of awesome, you know, ones, To Catch a Thief, which stars Cary Grant and Grace Kelly.
That's my favorite Grace Kelly movie.
It's such a
She looks absolutely
stunning,
glorious in that.
and I think, if I'm correct, this was her last Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
After that, she became Princess of Monaco. And Alfred Hitchcock wanted to star her in Marnie, but unfortunately she couldn't come back for that.
Right.
And even though she wanted to, which is like the same thing as was Meghan Markle now is the princess. She's never going to come back to working on film. But thankfully, like her only big claim to fame was working on Suits. She wasn't like a big famous star, you know, or anything. So she, but she's now a princess, so most likely she's not going to be needing to act anymore. And kind of sucks when somebody's talented, but you know, I mean, not many people know who Meghan Markle was before.
Right, but everybody knew Grace Kelly, and she just
that was
looked
a bummer.
amazing.
That was a bummer. But,
Good actress too.
Yeah, she was a wonderful actress. But all right, so next I got from Best Buy. They had I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had a 4K. You know, some of these $15 ones were 2 for $20. So basically like $10 off,
Nice.
you know, basically for 2. So I was like, well, let me take advantage of that. And originally I wanted Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but Alien Covenant wasn't there, and just Prometheus was, so I was kind of bummed. But I decided to get these two instead. Let's see, the Kingsman and the Secret Service. There, and then Kingsman and the Golden Circle. Both movies are supposedly really goofy and fun and action-packed. Colin Firth, Samuel Jackson, you know, Mark Strong.
Never seen either of them.
And Michael Caine. So they're just
I
action-packed,
like Michael Caine.
goofy junk, you know, and stuff. So I want to see this. This looks fun and entertaining. And Matthew Vaughn directed them, or at least directed, both of them. And Matthew Vaughn is the guy who produced like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then later on, he became a really big guy with I think he directed Kick-Ass and a bunch of other things.
Oh, okay.
So he's a wonderful, wonderful director.
Kick-Ass was fun.
Kick-Ass was a lot of fun. Kick-Ass 2 was not as much.
Never saw a second.
Kick-Ass 2 had like Jim Carrey, and then he kind of
God.
ruined a lot of it because he made a big deal out of the violence, because even though he had already acted in the movie and it was already done, he was being kind of obnoxious about all the school shootings that were happening at that time and being involved in something like glorified violence or whatever. And like, dude, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you signed up for it. But anyway, that's neither here
Such
nor
a
there.
diva.
Matthew Vaughn, wonderful director. So there you go.
All
So
right.
those were
Not a bad
my,
little-
was it 8? And you got 2, so not too bad.
Not too bad.
Actually, I got 9 technically because I had 2 that were in 1. So that's always a pretty good plus when you get two for the
2 for the price of 1.
price of 1, and a pretty cheap price too, because that was like $6.99. You know, right? Like
Right.
that's a pretty good price. So I'm happy with my haul there. So, well, thank you guys for checking this out. Join us next week, next
Month.
next month for the hauls. I'm sure we're going to be doing more stuff. We're going to try to do more stuff. I know I want you to do some more reviews. Maybe you can do a review of Abraxas or something, you know, or whatever for IFC, you know, and I'll do some Blu-ray reviews and things like that.
Yep.
And we're doing Criterion Watch still, and we're doing a bunch of other stuff. So tune in on the Indie Film Cafe. Is gonna have a like what's going on in the realm of everything for us, you know, kind of thing, including Sick Flick Productions.
Right.
So tune in for that. Okay, guys.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.